NBA MVP rankings, Nikola Jokic setting high bar for Anthony Davis, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum and more. After the first month of the NBA season, one player has emerged as a strong favorite. Nikola Jokic is still the best player in the world. The three-time MVP is having his best season ever, and he's setting the bar as high as it's been in recent memory for the other players trying to catch him. There have been many other standout performances during this first stretch of games. There are a few newcomers to this list that didn't make the cut in our final MVP rankings from last season, as well as the disappearance of Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard. Averages: 29.7 points, 13.7 Reb, 11.7 Atlantic Standard Time, 1.0 BLK, 1.7 SDL, 56.3% FG. Team record: 8-5, 5th in Western Conference. The Nuggets have been besieged with injuries, but Jokic has managed to keep them winning due to his brilliance. He ranks 4th in points per game, 1st in rebounds per game, 1st in assists per game, 1st in three-point percentage, and 3rd in deflections per game. Jokic's 56.4% shooting from three is one of the most remarkable developments from his game. He bemoaned the fact that the Nuggets didn't have lights-out shooting this season after the loss of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, so he decided to turn himself into a dead-eye marksman, averaging a career high both in percentage and attempts. He's now the best post player and best shooter in the game. Good luck stopping that. The only thing that has slowed Jokic down has been personal reasons. He's missed the past 3 games, and the Nuggets went 1-2 without him during that stretch. 2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Oklahoma City Thunder. Averages: 28.7 points, 6.3 Atlantic Standard Time, 5.1 Reb, 1.8 SDL, 1.1 BLK, 50.0% FG. Team record: 12-4, 2nd in Western Conference. Gilgeous-Alexander has the Thunder near the top of the Western Conference standings once again. He is still unstoppable when he slithers into the lane and leads the league in drives per game for the 5th consecutive year. He's the engine for the team's offense, ranking 6th in the league in points per game this season. Ska has also brought it on the defensive end again, averaging 1.8 steals and 1.1 blocks per game. The Thunder haven't been able to use traditional centers for much of the start of the year due to injuries, and he has been part of a guard-heavy group willing to do the dirty work. 3. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics. Averages: 29.9 points, 8.1 Reb, 5.9 Atlantic Standard Time, 1.4 SDL, 0.5 BLK, 46.4% FG. Team record: 12-3, 2nd in Eastern Conference. Tatum has been the best player on one of the best teams in the league, so he's going to be high up these ratings by default. But this is the most legitimate MVP case he's ever had, and it's because of the growth of his three-point shot. He's canning 39.4% of those looks on a career-high 11.0 attempts per game, leading the barrage that the Celtics throw at teams every night. That has shored up one of his few weaknesses from last season. Along with that improved shooting, Tatum's well-rounded game continues to shine. He ranks 3rd in points per game, is rebounding and passing at a high level, and brings it defensively. His benching during the Olympics seems to be motivating him to have a monster year. 4. Anthony Davis, Los Angeles Lakers. Averages: 31.3 points, 11.2 Reb, 2.8 Atlantic Standard Time, 1.9 BLK, 1.2 SDL, 57.3% FG. Team record: 10-5, 4th in Western Conference. Davis has eclipsed LeBron James as the clear best player on the Lakers this season. He's 2nd in the league in points per game and 7th in rebounds per game. J.J. Redick has asked him to become more of a shooting threat, and he's nailed 43.3% of his looks from deep this season. He's also become more of a passing hub for the team's offense. Davis is, of course, one of the NBA's best defenders as well. He's been a terrific rim protector, ranking 6th in the league in blocks per game. And he's a capable switch defender, which the Lakers have been doing more as a team this season. 5. Luka Doncic, Dallas Mavericks. Averages 28.1 points, 7.6 Reb, 7.6 Atlantic Standard Time, 1.6 SDL, 0.4 BLK, 43.5% FG. Team record 8-7, 9th in Western Conference. The Mavs have gotten off to a mediocre start, and Doncic hasn't shot the ball particularly well. He's hitting only 32.4% of his 3 seconds, tanking his efficiency. His defense has not been up to par either. He blamed himself for a botched play that led to a loss against the Jazz. But even a below-average start for Doncic makes him one of the best players in the league. The team's early season struggles have been more about poor rebounding and a weakened bench than him. Doncic will likely fall down this list in its next update. He's slated to miss some time with a wrist injury. Stephen Curry, Warriors. The only reason Curry isn't higher on this list is because Steve Kerr keeps his minutes down. His 29.2 minutes per game are 5 minutes less than his career average. Curry has been that same nuclear shooter in those minutes. He's hitting 44.1% of his 3 seconds and leading the Warriors with 23.0 points per game. They've been a surprisingly feisty group, owning the best record in the Western Conference. Curry is still the engine that makes that offense hum, and he's capable of throwing in some night-night dagger 3 seconds to close out games. Donovan Mitchell, Cavaliers. Mitchell doesn't get buzz as a top 10 player in the league. He is in that rarefied air, and the Cavs have the best record in the league behind his 24.3 points per game. He's a much improved defender and playmaker who deserves more credit for how well-rounded he's made his game. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bucks. Antetokounmpo has been the second best player in the NBA this season. He leads the league with 32.1 points per game and does everything for the Bucks. However, he falls out of the top 5 because the Bucks are a disappointing 6-9. With such a high level of talent, that has to be the distinguishing factor. If the Bucks could somehow rebound their season and get into the East's top 4, then Antetokounmpo has to be considered a top contender for this award. Kevin Durant, Suns. Durant has had a great season, averaging 27.6 points per game and helping the Suns to an 8-1 record when he plays. They've been just 1-6 when he sits. He falls out of the top 5 in this discussion because of the time he's missed, and he will continue to sit for a while with his calf injury.